Hi there, this is David, and as many of you know, I just took a trip of a lifetime to Japan. I found out that I was going to be going to Japan on Christmas Day. I did an unboxing video, and my really good friend Cutmaster, he surprised me with tickets to Japan, and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to Japan, but pooh, I did! I was there for 4 days, and it was just fantastic, and today I want to tell you all about the trip. It was surprise after surprise after surprise. First things first, I flew first class to Japan when it was a 12-hour flight, and I was so excited. I couldn't really sleep. I tried, it's one of those like pods or whatever where you can like lay down in the bed and all that, and I tried to fall asleep, but I just couldn't. I maybe got like 1 hour. I was so excited. And then we arrive, and we have to take a train from the airport, and you have to kind of take a train to get anywhere in Japan. We were using this train system all the time, and I'd like to say that by the end of the trip we were experts, but we were far from experts. We were still bumbling around this train system, even on the last day. It was still really complicated for us to figure it out. But the first day there, it was kind of a mess. We were trying to figure out how to buy a ticket. There was a lot of automated machines and things like that. Trying to get the currency and put it in, because a lot of places, they didn't accept cards. They only accepted cash. And the machines, they did accept cards, but it was just difficult. So maybe after like a half an hour of fooling around on one wrong ticket station to go to the right ticket station, waiting in these lines and everything, finally got a ticket to get on a Hello Kitty train. Yes, the train was Hello Kitty themed. I've never seen anything like it, but I was like, wow, what a way to get into Japan on a Hello Kitty train. That was pretty freaking cool. Then surprise number 2 came. We pull up, and it's a Ritz-Carlton hotel. Like, whoa. I think like Holiday Inn is fancy. So for me to go to Ritz-Carlton, I've never been in a Ritz-Carlton. So for me to go to like a Ritz-Carlton, I was like mind freaking blown. First class tickets and the Ritz-Carlton, I was like, that is just something else. And they had these Japanese toilets. If you know anything about these toilets, they're kind of ridiculous. There's buttons for everything. There's buttons for flushing, there's buttons for like air, there's buttons for music, and there's a bidet, which I've never used before. And now that, my friends, is a religious experience, and I have to have a bidet. I did some research, and there's actually bidet attachments that you can put on your toilet here in America, so I kind of want to buy a bidet attachment for my toilet, because that was nice. So anyway, we get to the hotel, we unpack, and all that kind of stuff, and by this point, it's kind of late in the day. It's maybe 6 or 7 o'clock at night, something like that, whenever we landed. But I asked the front desk reception lady, and I said, there's a place called Denden town, and I'd really like to go there. I heard it's like the Akihabara of Osaka. I wasn't in Tokyo, I was in Osaka. And so we ended up figuring out how to get there, and we took an Uber over to Denden town, but unfortunately, a lot of it was closing, and also a lot of the a lot of the stores were actually anime stores, not really video game stores. There was tons of anime. I would say it's 99% anime. I couldn't believe how much anime stuff there was and how little gaming stuff there was. But then we did find one store that had some gaming stuff, and we walked on in, and the bitch kicked us out because we walked in like after closing. So so I'm thinking, I'll have to come back because I saw like a king slime in there and stuff. I'm like, that would be really good to come back. And we did go back there, and it was really good. Also, over there in Denden town, we went to a little convenience store called Lawson, and they were all set up with Dragon Quest attire. I bought some Dragon Quest stuff there. The whole place was Dragon Quest themed. It was really freaking cool. So then I'm like, okay, where do you want to eat? We were thinking about getting dinner and all that kind of stuff. And Cutmaster says, hey, I have a good idea. So surprise number 3 comes. Yeah, like this, he was full of surprises. He took me to a Final Fantasy IV or Final Fantasy XIV themed cafe. And oh my gosh, y'all, this was something else, this cafe. I took so many pictures of the place. I even left like a little note that said like Davidvinc is here and all that. But again, everything was kind of closing. We were there really late. and we only had 15 minutes to spend there till it was closing, but we both got drinks. He ended up ordering me a virgin, though, which was odd, because I did say that I hadn't drank a lot of alcohol. Like, I told him before on the plane, because he ordered a drink, and he asked me if I wanted a drink on the plane. I said no, because I haven't really drank in about 8 or so months. So he ended up ordering me a virgin at the cafe. Well, he got, a regular drink, and I'm like, you ordered me a virgin? Like, what? No. Like, I'm on vacation right now. I'm drinking. Like, what are you talking about? So anyway, we had some food there, and after that, he was like, oh, you want to go drinking? We can go drinking. And he took me to a speakeasy, like a real live speakeasy that I've never really thought about or seen or anything. I've never been to a speakeasy. And it was called Bar Nayuta, like Nayuta Endless Trails. You had to go up to the 5th floor of this building in an alleyway. Everything in Japan is super, super, super close, and it's very difficult to figure out where things are, especially because the vast majority of the signs are in Japanese, and I don't speak Japanese. So we had to go inside this alleyway, go up 5 flights of stairs, and then according to Google, it said you enter through the small door, and it was like a little hobbit door. It was literally maybe 3 foot tall, and we had to duck down in this dark hallway. I didn't even see it. I literally didn't even see this door. He pointed it out to me because it was so dark. So we go underneath this door, we go inside, and it is a speakeasy bar, and there's 3 bartenders and a lot of foreigners, it looked like not a lot of Japanese people in there, we'll just put it that way. And talked to some people in there, but you didn't actually order like a drink normally. You had to describe the kind of flavor of drink that you wanted. So Cutmaster said that he wanted something herby and like vegetables or whatever, and rooty, and his was like that. It was very earthy. And I was like, I just want like a citrusy, fruity, fun drink. And mine was! And they were really, really, really good. Went back to the hotel, and the next day we already had plans. He, surprise number 4, bought me tickets to Dragon Quest Island. I bought this shirt there. Brought me tickets to Dragon Quest Island, and this was a thing to get there. It was a 1-hour train ride to get to this bridge, and then at the bridge, we were supposed to transfer over to a bus. We literally missed the bus by 1 minute. 1 minute. Because, of course, we get off the train, and we're like, where's the bus station? We didn't know. We're looking around, we see some buses over here. We end up finding like a 7-Eleven, asking a girl in there, and she goes, no, this isn't the right bus station. You have to go over here. We had to run up 5 flights of stairs. It was like climbing the Eiffel Tower. Climb 5 flights of stairs to get up there. We asked the man up there, and he goes, oh, the next bus is in 1 hour and 15 minutes, because he missed it by 1 minute. So then we tried to get an Uber just across the bridge. There was a $100 fee just across the bridge, and we're like, oh, I'm not paying that. That's crazy. So we just took some random bus that would just cross the bridge, and then we got dropped off right at the other side of the bridge, and then we had to do a 45-minute walk uphill to get to this Dragon Quest Island. In the cold, it was like maybe 40 degrees outside, and it hadn't even opened yet. It opened up at 10. We got there at like 9:30, so we kind of huddled in the bathroom while we waited for Dragon Quest Island to open, and we were both kind of tired from all the walking, and it was really cold and everything, and I was expecting like an amusement park. It's not an amusement park. It's more of like a fetch quest park. It is very much Dragon Quest. It's like, go to the town, talk to the townsfolk. Oh, wait, you need equipment, but the blacksmith doesn't have equipment. So you need to go around and find these various treasure chests. Open up the chests and get materials so the blacksmith can forge you equipment. Okay, good, you have your equipment. Go into the forest and level up and beat up some enemies. So we did that. Oh, good, you killed the big baddie in the forest. Go back to the town. Talk to the king. Talk to the captain of the guard. Okay, he's saying that there's another big baddie over on the Hero's Hill. Go over to the Hero's Hill. Fight that one. Okay, now you're powerful enough to go over to the Evil Forest Temple, where the Amulet of Resurrection is, or whatever it is that we needed to find. We went over there. We ended up killing a Stark. We found mini medals and everything else. We were there. It was actually a lot of fun, but it was a lot of walking back and forth and things like that. And it took us about 3 or so hours to do it in its entirety. There was no rides or roller coasters or anything. It was literally kind of just like fetch quest stuff. So after that, we had to go back, and we were like, we're not walking 45 minutes down this hill to this bus stop. So we took an Uber from the Dragon Quest Island down to the bus stop. Then we took the bus across the bridge, then the train, and like it took a hot minute to get back. We were probably, the travel time to and fro from Dragon Quest Island was more time than we spent at the actual island itself. Oh, we did go inside the Dragon Quest cafe and gift shop where I bought all sorts of really cool stuff, and I will be going over like an unboxing of all the stuff that I bought in Japan in a different video, because this video is going to be long enough for me just talking about Japan, let alone unboxing everything too, so that's going to be another video in and of itself. So we get back, and we're both starving, so we go to this place called Yakinu... Wait, I have this written down. Yakiniku. I think I'm probably still mispronouncing it. Yakuniku meat and kimchi. And we go there and we get all sorts of different meats, and it's like these like little barbecue-y things in front of your table, and you have to like cook the meat yourself. It was really interesting because I've never done anything like that before. It was just very interesting. We had to cook it, and I was looking for like a knife to cut the meat. And the guy comes over with a pair of scissors, and he's like, he just chops the meat in half with a pair of scissors. And I'm like, okay, I could have used a knife and fork, but whatever. And that was also where I tried kimchi for the very first time, if y'all saw that short as well. I think a lot of people enjoyed that one. That was interesting flavors, I'll just say that. So after that, we decided to go gay bar hopping. Woohoo! We went to a bar that I saw on Google that I just had to try, called the Muscle Bar. So we're like, okay, let's find this place, because again, everything is very difficult to find. We're like, okay, let's find this place. So we ended up finding it, and there was one guy in there, and so there was two girls in one booth, and then one muscle guy, I guess, and then us, me and Cutmaster, were in there as we walked in, and the guy he's taking a pineapple and he's crushing it with his hands to make like pineapple juice for these girls. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not very hygienic, but whatever. And so we go and we order a drink, and the muscle guy comes over to us, starts talking to us. He's really good English, actually. He showed us some pictures of him like bodybuilding and all of that. And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then another like muscle guy comes in, and I say that with quotation because he was not muscular at all. He was like really skinny twink, and he comes over and he was enamored by me, completely ignored Cutmaster, which I didn't appreciate at all, but he was enamored by me. He literally climbs on top of me and he's whispering in my ear. He goes, I love you so much, I love you so much, I love you so much. And I'm like, I am so creeped out right now, so creeped out. So we're both like, okay, that's lovely. I'm thinking like, what is going on here? Like, this isn't like what I'm used to. And I'm thinking like, do they like do stuff in the back room, if you know what I mean? And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. So we stand up to leave, we pay, we get the hell out of there. And then we're like, okay, I'm going on Google, let's see what else is over there. And I found another bar called Frenzy Bar. And we were trying to walk there, trying to figure out how to get there. We accidentally walked into a lesbian bar, which was oh so much fun, because the girls are all talking in there, and then we walk in and it's complete silence. And we're like, oh, this is not the right place. But the bartender, she told us, perfect English, by the way. She goes, oh, you're looking for Frenzy Bar? And we go, yeah. And she goes, over there. And it was like, this is the next one down. So we go over there, and it was owned by an Australian man. We did some karaoke. I sang My Way by Frank Sinatra. Had a really good time. We had one drink there, but we wanted to keep on hopping, so we went over to Grand Slam, which was a ton of fun. We probably stayed there way too long. We each had like 4 or 5 drinks. We had Long Island iced teas, had a blast. I sang some more songs. They didn't have a lot of English songs, so Cutmaster ended up singing the theme to Sailor Moon, but it was the Japanese theme to Sailor Moon, so it was like twice as long as the American theme, and it was also in Japanese, and he's over there struggling to get through it, but it was a frickin' blast. We had so much fun. He even put on a Serena meatball head wig, so that was fun. The next day, we got another surprise! He was going to take me over to Kyoto. That's the old capital of Japan. Tokyo is the current capital. Kyoto was the old capital. It took an hour train ride from Osaka to get to Kyoto. So, we're on the train, blah, blah, blah. We get there, and we decide to go to this place called the Nishiki Market, which was absolutely ginormous. It was huge, and tons and tons and tons of various stalls. Most of the stalls, though, sold food. So you would think, okay, you're in this market, there's food stalls, we're gonna grab some food, and we're gonna wander around. No, ma'am. Could not do that. You could only eat right in front of the store that you bought it from or inside the store. So we ended up buying these the shrimp skewers, and we were thinking, oh, we'll just wander with them, but we couldn't, so we had to go inside and eat those. And I kept on seeing all this stuff that I wanted to buy, like ice cream stores and stuff like that, like matcha and all this. Even maybe get a drink, get some tea, get whatever, get a milkshake, whatever. You couldn't! How are you gonna have a market that sells a ton of food, but you can't eat the food? It was so weird. It was just so weird. There was also, after we left the market, we found a bunch of various anime stores. Again, we saw the anime and we're thinking, oh, there might be video games. We didn't see a lot of video games, just the anime stores, but we did wander into this one store called Animate. And I got it whenever I was in there, because it is a conglomeration of anime and mate. You're in love with the anime character, because there was a lot of sexually charged mangas in there, we'll just put it that way. There was a whole aisle of gay mangas and threesome mangas and lesbian vampire mangas, and it was a lot. So that was interesting store right there. Also, there were these gacha shops all over the frickin' place. Gacha machines just on the side of the road, on the sidewalk, inside stores, everywhere. And I'm looking at these stores and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And then all of a sudden, Cutmaster goes, hey, wait, David, hold on. And he pulls out 2,000 yen and he's like, I want to do this gacha. Pulls out 2,000 yen, which is roughly $13 or so. And I put out a short about this too. He ended up getting a churro maker. And the thing is, it's heavy, and we don't have a lot of room to pack, so I'm like, what are you gonna do with a churro maker? He's like, I don't know. So he takes it and he just puts it in the corner of the shop, because there's no person. There's not a shop person there, because it's all automated, And he's like, maybe somebody will just take it if they want it or whatever, because, yeah. So we left it. It was our charitable thing for whatever, charitable thing for the day. So Then Cutmaster says, hey, you know what? There's this really old street called Hachimama Street where the geishas stroll up and down. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I read Memoirs of a Geisha back when I saw the movie. I would love to see that. And there was these old shrines and everything there too. So we're walking past shrines, we're seeing that. I wanted to go to this geisha street, but we, of course, were hungry. So we found this Chinese restaurant. We went to the 5th floor. And we got some dumplings and some shrimp fried rice and stuff like that. And we took pictures down because it was right overlooking the geisha street. So we were taking pictures of that. And after we left there, we go down to the geisha street, and you can't take any pictures on the geisha street. And there are cops everywhere. Every 10 feet, there's cops. So you couldn't take pictures on this street at all. But it was a really old street, a lot of temples and stuff like that. So we walk through there, we look at the temples, we look at the little gardens and stuff like that. I was able to take some pictures here and there of the torii gates, the little torii gate things. So that was cool. And then we're going back across, heading towards the train station to go back to Osaka. And Cutmaster was like, hey, do you want to stop at this cafe? And we did. And it was a little cafe called Kawa Cafe. And we stopped there for tea, and I got some pizza. And the pizza was delicious. Delicious pizza, by the way. Got tea and pizza right along the river. And it was so nice to just watch the cranes fly on by, the people jogging along the river as I was enjoying my tea and my pizza. So then we take the train back to Osaka, and I found the highlight of the trip. as we're looking around for all these video game stores and everything else, we're like, oh gosh, we can't find them, can't find them. What is in the actual train station? Like 1,000 feet from our hotel, but the Nintendo World Store and the Capcom Cafe, and we're like, oh my god, mind blown. So we go up there, there's this huge area just dedicated to Pokemon, a huge area dedicated to Nintendo, huge area for Capcom, huge areas for some manga stuff that I don't even know what it is, but it was all up there on the 13th floor of this Daimate building? I think it was Daimate building, I'm pretty sure, something like that. And we go in there, and I bought so much stuff. Again, that will be in the unboxing video. So much stuff in there. And then we went to the Capcom Cafe, we got some drinks there, and then we went back to the hotel because we were kind of plumb tuckered out by then. The last day, we stayed in Osaka, and we just wanted to look around a bit. We didn't have a lot of time in this last day. The flight was going to be taking off at 6. We had to check out at 4, but we wanted to leave the hotel at 2 so that we could get to the airport because we had to do customs and check in, and it takes forever on a train to get to the airport, so whatever. So Cutmaster wanted to see this highway that goes through like a skyscraper. There's a skyscraper that literally has like a hole cut inside of it, and there's a highway that goes through it. So we went to the Umeda Sky building, but unfortunately it was closed. It didn't open up till 10, and we were out there at like 8. So instead we went to the old Osaka castle, and we strolled on through the gardens. We didn't have a lot of time to actually tour the castle itself, but we took pictures outside, pictures of the gardens, and we got like a drink or whatever. I got some hot chocolate. It was really cool because the vending machines don't just have cold beverages. They have hot beverages, which is so nice on these cold winter days. I was all bundled up. I had scarf, jacket, gloves, and my hot chocolate that I'm just sipping. You know, it was really, really nice. Then Cutmaster said, hey, why don't we go back to Denden town again? Remember there was that store that was closed? We should check that one out. And man, I am so glad that we did. There was so many cool games in there, and I bought some stuff in there too. Bought a really nice collector's edition, and I saw all sorts of Famicom games, Wonderswan Color games. I saw Tales of the Tempest for the DS, for God's sakes. Like, I saw the original Final Fantasy complete in box for the Famicom there. Like, there was some cool stuff in that store. A lot of it was very expensive though, so I only bought what I could actually get my little hands on. And then after that, we had to go to Taco Bell because Cutmaster has a thing for Taco Bell, and I was like, okay. The cashier spoke perfect English, like perfect. I told her she should be a translator for the UN because like her English was immaculate. I couldn't believe it because every other cashier, for the most part, that we've been interacting with, it was like a point method. You know, it was no communication whatsoever. She was like the first person we could really have a full-on conversation with. So that was really nice. After that, we returned back to the Nintendo store for one last walkthrough. Then we made it over to the airport. We were waiting for our plane. And to top off this wonderful, once-in-a-lifetime trip to Japan, what was playing on the loudspeaker but the Dragon Quest Overture? It was just magical, y'all. I had such a good time. I can't even describe how great it was. I do hope that you've enjoyed these pictures and these videos and just my reminiscing about this trip because it was just fantastic. And thank you again, Cutmaster, for making this all happen for me. And all y'all out there, have a good day.